He said, that's what you do. He said, you write your own stories, create your own characters, make your own way, because otherwise you're standing on the sidewalk with everybody else.
Billy Bob Thornton's life is a fascinating journey of creative triumphs, personal struggles, and high-profile relationships that have frequently overshadowed his work. Known for his raw acting performances, gripping screenwriting, and eccentric persona, Thornton has navigated fame while simultaneously grappling with intense media scrutiny in his private life. Let's have a look at his relationships and who the true love of his life was. Billy Bob, a wild ride.
We met at a time when I needed somebody to meet me because I was going through kind of a lost weekend, you know what I mean? And
I spent like 2 decades in a lost weekend. I totally understand.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, yes.
Well, her sister, Carrie, was a makeup artist on the show, on Bad Santa, and she said, my sister's going to visit, and I got a feeling that you're really going to like her. And sure enough, I did. And we were together within probably a couple of months, maybe.
Billy Bob Thornton was born August 4th, 1955, in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Raised in a modest rural environment, Thornton's family faced financial struggles. His father, a school teacher and basketball coach, instilled discipline, while his mother, a psychic, inspired his creative side. As a child, he found solace in writing and music, pursuits that would later define his multifaceted career. After a brief stint at Henderson State University, Thornton set his sights on Los Angeles in the late 70s. Success didn't come easily. For years, he worked various odd jobs, including as a waiter and telemarketer, while pursuing acting roles. He lived hand to mouth and faced rejection after rejection. However, his persistence began to pay off when he landed small roles in television and film in the late 80s and early 90s. His big break came in 1996 with Sling Blade. Not only did he write and direct the film, but he also gave a mesmerizing performance as Carl Childers, a mentally challenged man with a dark past. The film earned Thornton an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay and a nomination for Best Actor, catapulting him into Hollywood's A-list. His gritty performances in subsequent films like A Simple Plan, Monsters Ball, and The Man Who Wasn't There, as well as the dark comedy Bad Santa, cemented his reputation as a unique and talented artist. While Thornton's professional life blossomed, his personal life, particularly his relationships, became a constant topic of tabloid fascination. His marriages, divorces, and controversial romances were often as dramatic and compelling as the roles he played on screen. He's been married 6 times, and several of those relationships have sparked public interest. His first 3 marriages were relatively low profile. His early unions to Melissa Lee Gatlin, Tony Lawrence, and Cinda Williams ended quietly, though they set a pattern of short-lived relationships. In 1993, he married his 4th wife, model Pietra Dawn Cherniak. Together, they had 2 sons, but the marriage was tumultuous and ended in divorce in 1997. Cherniak later alleged that Thornton had been physically and emotionally abusive during the relationship. These claims attracted considerable media attention and cast a shadow over Thornton's personal life, though he has consistently avoided addressing the accusations in public. One of the most notable chapters in his romantic history is his relationship with actress Laura Dern. The two began dating in the late 1990s and were even engaged, with Dern frequently referring to Thornton as her soulmate. But the relationship ended abruptly and controversially. While still engaged to Dern, Thornton met actress Angelina Jolie on the set of the 1999 film Pushing Tin. The chemistry between the two was immediate and undeniable. In May 2000, Thornton shocked Hollywood by marrying Jolie in Las Vegas, seemingly out of nowhere. The abrupt turn of events devastated Dern. Years later, she reflected on the experience, saying, quote, "I left our home to work on a movie, and while I was away, my boyfriend got married, and I never heard from him again." This revelation painted Thornton as a man who could be impulsive and inconsiderate in matters of love, earning him significant public backlash. To this day, the circumstances surrounding his split from Dern remain one of the most infamous controversies of his love life. Thornton's relationship with Angelina Jolie remains the most widely discussed and scrutinized chapter of his romantic life. Jolie, already a rising star and Hollywood rebel, found a kindred spirit in Thornton's eccentric and unapologetically rebellious nature. Their union was unconventional, intense, and made headlines for its peculiar quirks. Perhaps the most talked about detail was the couple's decision to wear vials of each other's blood around their necks. While Thornton later downplayed the story, claiming the vials were merely symbolic and much less dramatic than reported, the public perception painted them as Hollywood's wildest couple. The two were also known for their passionate public displays of affection, often gushing about each other during interviews. Jolie called Thornton her greatest love and spoke openly about their deeply emotional bond. However, cracks soon began to appear. By 2002, Thornton's discomfort with the intense media attention and Jolie's growing humanitarian commitments had driven a wedge between them. In interviews following their split in 2003, Thornton admitted that he felt overwhelmed by Jolie's lifestyle and their differences. Quote, "I never felt good enough for her," he confessed, acknowledging that the relationship fell apart because he struggled to adapt to her world. Jolie and Thornton's marriage, though short-lived, remains iconic due to its sheer intensity and the way it captured public fascination. Their divorce marked the end of an era for Thornton, who seemed weary of the spotlight that came with such high-profile romances. Following his divorce from Jolie, he became far more private about his romantic life. He dated other women, but he avoided the kind of public exposure that had accompanied his previous relationships. This period marked a shift in Thornton's personal outlook. The media's relentless coverage of his love life had taken its toll, and he began to prioritize a quieter existence. During this time, Thornton focused on music, releasing several albums with his band, the Boxmasters. Music provided him with a creative outlet and a degree of escape from Hollywood's relentless scrutiny. It was during this phase that he met Connie England, a puppeteer and special effects artist. He began dating Connie in 2003, shortly after his split from Jolie. Unlike his previous partners, England was not a celebrity, which gave Thornton the sense of normalcy and privacy he craved. The couple welcomed a daughter, Bella, in 2004. For years, he expressed reluctance to marry again, stating that he felt marriage had not worked for him in the past. After over a decade of companionship, the two married in a private ceremony in 2014. The wedding was a quiet affair, attended only by close friends and families. In interviews, Thornton has spoken glowingly about England and the impact she's had on his life. He credits her with providing stability and grounding him after years of personal and professional chaos. Unlike his previous marriages, which were often tumultuous and marred by public scrutiny, Thornton's relationship with England has been characterized by mutual respect, understanding, and a shared desire for privacy. Thornton has often described England as his anchor. In stark contrast to the eccentricities of his relationship with Jolie, his bond with England appears rooted in a deep sense of calm and security. He's acknowledged that he no longer feels the need to prove anything to anyone, and much of that shift is due to England's influence. At 68 years old, Thornton's perspective on relationships has evolved significantly. He's admitted that many of his past romances failed because he struggled with intimacy, communication, and adapting to his partner's lifestyles. His impulsive nature and inability to navigate the pressures of fame contributed to the downfall of several marriages. His relationship with Angelina Jolie, in particular, taught him difficult lessons about love, fame, and self-worth. While he maintains fondness and respect for Jolie, he's admitted he was never fully prepared for the kind of life she envisioned. In Connie England, Thornton has found a partner who accepts him as he is, a man who thrives creatively but desires peace in his personal life. He has described his marriage to England as, quote, easy, a word he rarely used to describe his earlier relationships. For Thornton, this relationship represents a turning point, one where love is no longer defined by public declarations or eccentric gestures, but by quiet companionship and mutual support. Billy Bob's life has been a whirlwind of artistic success, personal struggles, and highly publicized relationships. While his early marriages and controversial split with Laura Dern painted him as impulsive and unreliable in love, his marriage to Angelina Jolie turned him into a tabloid sensation. His later years, though, have been marked by introspection and a desire for privacy. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Billy Bob's love life has sometimes overshadowed his incredible talent? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.